Episode 41. As we said in the previous episode, Hormozd swore as the next king. In the beginning of his reign, he worked hard to make peace in the country. He helped the poor and everything in the country was going well. After a while, he was suspicious to some court men who were close to his father. So, he killed some of them, thinking they were betraying him. Among the people whom he executed, was a Zoroastrian priest who was very popular among the people. His death caused riot in the country. Hormozd could suppress the riot, but a lot of people were killed. One day, a man who was close to King Anushirvan, brought a sealed letter for Hormozd. The letter was written by King Anushirvan before his death. In the letter, the king had predicted his son's future, that the first 10 years of his reign would go well, but after that, there are wars. And finally, Hormozd would be blinded and killed. Hormozd was very upset after reading the letter. King Hormozd had a son called Khosrow Parviz. The father and son had a good relation. 10 years passed and as Anushirvan had predicted, there were wars from 4 sides to Iran. From the north, Khazar tribe attacked Iran. Arabs, Turkestan, and Roman Empire also attacked Iran. King Hormozd could defeat Khazar tribe easily. He decided to make peace with Romans. He promised the Roman emperor to give back all the lands that were taken from Romans in his father's time, and the Roman emperor accepted. Arabs were also defeated. Only Turkestan was still in the war zone. King Hormozd had a commander who was called Bahram Chobin. He was smart and mighty. The number of soldiers in Turk army were more than Iran army, but Bahram Chobin could defeat Turks with his smart tactics. The Turk king fled, but Bahram could follow him and kill him. Bahram sent a letter to King Hormozd and informed him of the victory. Hormozd was very happy and held a feast in the capital. Bahram was a smart commander. He helped the king in suppressing riots in the country. Whenever Bahram won a war, he took some war trophies for himself. He believed this was his right to take trophies. The news reached the king, and he did not like this. So, there were tensions between Bahram and Hormozd. Bahram's men believed that he deserved to be the king and Hormozd did not deserve the reign. Bahram sent a letter to Turkestan and asked them to help him. They accepted. Once Bahram minted coins in Khosrow Parviz's name to make Hormozd pessimist to his son. And his plot was successful. The king was suspicious to his son and decided to kill him. Parviz fled to Azerbaiján. There were riots in the country and the king, who felt miserable, could not manage the crisis. There was a riot in the capital and the prisoners broke the prison gates and raided to the palace. They blinded the king. Parviz heard of the riot in the capital and returned to the country to manage the crisis. Parviz was welcomed by the people. But he was worried about Bahram's attack. Parviz sent some spies to Bahram's army, and after returning, they told Parviz that Bahram's army is united and ready for war. Parviz was not interested in war. He decided to negotiate with Bahram. But Bahram did not accept. He wanted one thing: to be the king. Bahram had no way but war. There was a fierce battle between the two sides. Bahram's army was stronger, and they could make Parviz's army retreat. When Parviz and his army were retreating, Bahram and his men followed them. Parviz's army reached to a bridge, and after passing the bridge, they destroyed the bridge in order to stop Bahram from following them. When Parviz arrived at the palace, he talked to his father, Hormozd. Hormozd advised him to go to Rome and ask help from Romans. When Parviz left the palace and moved toward Rome, 2 men who were on Bahram's side attacked the palace and killed Hormozd. Bahram Chobin finally arrived at the capital. He saw the dead body of Hormozd, who was once his king. Bahram announced himself as the new king. He ordered his soldiers to chase Parviz and kill him. Parviz went to a church. When Bahram's men arrived at the church, the priest told them, "Parviz is ill. He needs some rest, and he will soon surrender." The soldiers accepted. But after some days, they found that Parviz had left the church in disguise. So, the soldiers decided to go back to the capital. Khosrow Parviz arrived at Rome. He asked for their help. The Roman emperor accepted to help Parviz under 2 conditions. 1. Parviz had to marry emperor's daughter, Mariam, and he must not force his wife to change her religion. 2. After getting his power back, Parviz must never attack Rome and be the Romans' ally. Parviz accepted the conditions. After marrying emperor's daughter, Parviz got ready for the war. There was a tense battle between Parviz and Bahram. Finally, Parviz defeated Bahram and Bahram fled to Turkestan. Khosrow was happy of this victory. He sent a letter to the emperor of Rome and then he went to a fire temple to thank God for his help. Bahram had a good relationship with Turkestan king. He could suppress the king's enemies. The Turkestan king asked Bahram to marry his daughter and Bahram accepted. Parviz knew that Bahram would soon prepare a new army and attack Iran. So, he sent a man to Turkestan to kill Bahram. Bahram was in a camp near Iran with Turk soldiers. The man who was sent to kill Bahram was a middle-aged man who introduced himself as a messenger. When he went inside the tent to meet Bahram, he drew a knife and stabbed Bahram. Bahram's death made the soldiers sad and upset. They killed the fake messenger and went back to Turkestan. Khosrow Parviz was happy of the news and there was a celebration in Iran. Then Khosrow Parviz announced himself as the next king. End of episode 41. Thank you for watching.